4.0.0 Cable trays. Explain how to select and install cable trays. Identify cable tray types and fittings. Describe how to install cable tray supports. Cable trays act as a support for conductors and tubing. They're covered in NEC Article 392. A cable tray provides easy access to conductors, so it works well in installations where the addition or removal of conductors happens a lot. Cable tray is not a raceway. Cable tray is a support for raceways. So it's a system of support. 4.1.0 Cable tray types and fittings. Cable trays are fabricated from aluminum, steel, and fiberglass. Are available in two basic forms: ladder tray, which consists of two parallel channels connected by rungs, or trough, which consists of two parallel channels with a corrugated and ventilated solid bottom. A special center rail cable tray is also available for use in light-duty applications such as telephone and sound wiring. Cable trays are available in a variety of lengths, widths, and load depths to suit different applications. Some of the applications include most electrical installations, air handling, sealing space, but only to support the wiring methods permitted in such spaces. Class 1 Division 2 locations according to NEC Section 501.10 B15. Above a suspended ceiling not used as an air handling space. Aluminum cable tray coated with PVC for installation in caustic environments. Cable tray fittings are part of the cable tray system. They provide a way to change the direction or the dimensions of different trays. A typical cable tray system with fittings is shown in Figure 75. So all of these are ladder cable trays. You can see how they resemble a ladder. They have two rails and then they have rungs. We have straight sections. We have offsets. They have T's. They have flat 90s. There are also outside 90s and inside 90s. So this is an outside 90, and if we wanted to go from a horizontal to a vertical, we would use an inside 90 to go up. Here's an X. Here they're putting a divider, so you can put a divider down the center of a cable tray, and you can put two different types of systems in here, like power and communication cables. You can separate them by this barrier. This is the corrugated bottom cable tray, and here is a cable tray cover. You have to be careful when you're putting covers on cable tray. If you have a solid bottom tray and you're putting a cover on it, you're going to diminish the ability for the wires to dissipate heat. We have to reduce the ampacity. We'll have to actually derate the cables in those cable trays if they're solid bottom and have a solid cover. So I'll let you look over that in your own time. Metallic cable trays that support electrical conductors must be grounded as required by Article 250. Where you use steel and aluminum cable tray systems as an equipment grounding conductor, you must comply with all the provisions of NEC Section 392.60b. Yes, you can use cable tray as the equipment grounding conductor. So you can take 3 hots and a neutral and pass it wherever it needs to go, and the tray itself can act as the grounding, the equipment grounding conductor. Cable tray systems. Cable tray systems must be continuous and grounded. One of the advantages of using a cable tray system is that it makes it easy to expand or modify the wiring system following installation. Unlike conduit systems, wires can be added or changed by simply laying them into or lifting them out of the tray. Do not stand on, climb in, or walk on a cable tray. Cable trays usually come with a warning on the side saying this is not a ladder. You cannot use it as a ladder. You cannot climb on it. 4.2.0 installing cable tray supports. Cable trays are usually supported in one of 5 ways, either direct rod suspension, trapeze mounting, center hung, wall mounting, or pipe rack mounting. Using direct rod suspension. I will tell you, I have seen in my experience that direct rod suspension, or actually I take it back, the trapeze mounting is the most popular mounting. So direct rod is when you put a bracket on the side that accepts all thread rod, and you can suspend it off of that. The direct rod suspension method of supporting cable trays uses threaded rods and hanger clamps. One end of the threaded rod is connected to the ceiling or other overhead structure. The other end is connected to a hanger clamps attached to the cable tray side rails. Using trapeze mounting, this is where you're going to use a piece of unistrut as the base and usually 2 all thread down rods, and that's what makes the trapeze. Trapeze mounting of cable trays is similar to direct rod suspension mounting. The difference is that the method of attaching the cable tray to the threaded rods. A trapeze mounting assembly is shown in figure 77. So there again, you put the piece of unistrut across, and then you can attach the cable tray to that unistrut. The structural member, usually a steel channel or strut, is connected to the vertical supports to provide an appearance similar to a swing or trapeze. The cable tray is mounted to the structural member. Often the underside of the channel or strut is used to support conduit. A method similar to trapeze mounting is center hung tray support. In this case, only one rod is used, centered between the cable tray side rails. People don't really like this method. They don't use it a lot, because if you lay too many cables on one side or the other, it has a tendency to make that cable tray lean, and you don't want to do that. So they usually go with the 2 down rods rather than 1 in the center. Using wall mounting. The wall mounting method, structural members are attached to the wall support to support the cable tray. This method is often used in tunnels and other underground sheltered installations where large numbers of conductors interconnect equipment separated by long distances. I'm going to make that a highlight. Wall mounting. This method is often used in tunnels and other underground or sheltered installations. And that's what it looks like. You've got these brackets that are secured to the wall, and then the cable tray is supported to the brackets. Using pipe rack mounting. Pipe racks are structural frames used to support piping that interconnects equipment in outdoor industrial facilities. Usually some space on the rack is reserved for conduit and cable tray. Pipe rack mounting of cable tray is often used when power distribution and electrical wiring is routed over a large area. Here's 4.0.0 section review. Special light duty center rail cable tray is often used. I'll let you do these. The types of cable tray support most likely to be used when power distribution and electrical wiring is routed over a large outdoor area. We just talked about that. All right, I'll see you on the next video. 5.0.0 handling and storing raceways. Describe how to handle and store raceways. Explain how to handle raceways and how to store raceways. Proper and safe methods of storing conduit, wireways, raceways, and cable trays are important. Improper storage techniques can result in wasted time and damage to the raceways. They can also cause personal injury. This section covers proper handling and storage of raceways. 5.1.0 handling raceways. Raceways made to strict specifications. If you're careless with it, it can easily be damaged. From time to time, the raceway is delivered up to a job unit, job site until the installation is complete. You must use proper and safe handling techniques. These are a few basic guidelines for handling raceways that will help you avoid damaging or contaminating it. Never drag raceway off a delivery truck or off other lengths of raceway. Never drag raceway onto the ground or floor. Dragging raceways can cause damage to the ends. Remember, a lot of these conduits are sent with threads. If you damage those threads, you won't be able to get a coupling on them. Keep the thread protection caps on when handling or transporting conduit raceways. Keep raceways away from any material that might contaminate it during handling. Flag the ends of long lengths of raceway when transporting it to the job site. Never drop or throw raceway when handling it. Never hit raceway against other objects when transporting it. Always use two people when carrying long pieces of raceway. Make sure that you both stay on the same side and that the load is balanced. If you ever use a forklift to move raceways, conduits, make sure you don't damage the conduits by running the fork tines through the bundle of conduit. Make sure you get underneath the conduit and pick it up. 5.2.0 Storing raceways. Pipe racks are commonly used for storing conduit. The racks provide support to prevent bending, sagging, distorting, scratching, or marring of conduit surfaces. The following list provides additional information related to pipe racks. Most racks have compartments where several types and sizes of conduit can be separated to make it easy to identify them and choose what you need. Some racks have casters that make it easier to transport conduit throughout the project site. The storage compartments in racks are usually elevated to help avoid damage that might occur at floor level. Conduit stored at floor level is easily damaged by people and other materials or equipment in the area. The ends of stored conduit should be sealed to help prevent contamination and damage. Conduit ends can be capped, taped, or plugged. These are a few basic guidelines for storing raceways that will help avoid damaging and contaminating it. Always inspect the raceway before storing it. Make sure it's clean and not damaged. Store raceways securely so that when someone comes to get it from the job, it'll not fall and cause injury. To prevent contamination and corrosion, cover the raceways with a tarpaulin or other suitable covering. Keep raceways separated from non-compatible materials such as hazardous chemicals, and store raceways, surface metal raceways, and cable trays off the ground on boards in an area where people and equipment won't damage it. Section 5.0.0, section review. Carrying long pieces of raceway, it's best to. When storing raceway, it's best to. So this concludes 26108, Wireways, Raceways, and Fittings. Hope you got something out of the video. If you did, consider giving me a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you. Hey, this is Brian Young. If you liked my video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I'll see you on the next video.